What's up guys, it's your girl T, and today's video is all about hair boosters. I floated the question to you guys a video or two ago about whether you would be interested in a video on things that I like to add to my hair products or to fully create my hair products if I'm gonna go full on DIY. But these are things that I like to add to products or use to create products to enhance their performance. Whether they need more cleansing properties, more moisturizing properties, or some other aspect is missing, these are the various things that I reach for to boost it. This is a bit of a spin-off from a video I did 2 or so years ago called How to Make a Whack Deep Conditioner a Dope Deep Conditioner. I'll link that video here if you missed it, and that was sort of my all-purpose guide to enhancing a product that really didn't work for you. Today we're taking that to the next level, and I've organized everything kind of by category in terms of what type of booster it is to me. I say this frequently, but I'm gonna say it again. I am not telling you what to do. I am telling you what I do, and hopefully sharing with you what I do is somehow helpful. I'm going to start off with things that I consider to be moisturization boosters. And generally, if something isn't delivering on the moisture for me, aside from doing the obvious like adding oil to it, I'll often add some other type of emollient. One of my favorite of said emollients is vegetable glycerin. This is my bottle. I've already purchased a new one since this one is down to here. And as you can see, the label has completely faded. You can't even see it anymore, but this is just vegetable glycerin. I love to use this in my spray leave-in that I make, but I'll also often add it to conditioners that I feel like just aren't moisturizing enough as they're already formulated. A somewhat more intense version of that would be honey. Plain old honey. This is the honey that I use to consume, as well as sometimes I'll take a tablespoon and chuck it in a deep conditioner that just isn't delivering on the moisturization for me. Whereas with glycerin, I'll use it in leave-in products and rinse-out products. Honey I use exclusively in my rinse-out products because I feel like it would probably just be too sticky and a little bit tricky to figure out how much to use in a leave-in situation. I do have a pre-made product from Créme Biologics that I love. Their olive and honey hydrating balm, and that does have honey in it. But I leave that mixology to the pros. I let them figure out how to work honey into my leave-ins, and I kind of stay away from doing it myself. But I do love honey as a booster for rinse-out products. With either of those, I'll typically just add a tablespoon, maybe 2, to a deep conditioner. In the leave-in situation with the glycerin, I'll probably add 1 tablespoon or so to my spray leave-in. I don't really measure with that, so it's not exact. But that at least gives you a general idea of how I use those 2 items to boost the moisture. One more for the emollients category is coconut cream. I talk about this stuff all the time. You can get it from a local Indian grocery store. This is one that I actually get online that I really like. I will link it below. I don't know how many jars of this I've gone through / containers from Indian grocery stores I've gone through, but this is another item that I will not be without in my hair arsenal. Coconut cream, or as this one is labeled, coconut cream concentrate, is basically coconut butter. The only ingredient in this is coconut. So if you see coconut cream on a store shelf and it's got like thickeners or sugars in it, that is not what I am using. I'm using one that only has coconut in it. Whether it's this brand or any other, the only ones I pick up are ones where the only ingredient is in fact coconut. I've used this in a number of videos where I'm mixing up deep conditioner treatments for my hair. That is usually how I use this. I feel like this one is in its own category. It's just the ultimate booster for me because it helps to kind of weigh my hair down while I am applying product or while the product's in my hair so that it's easier to kind of keep my hair detangled and organized, so to speak. It really just elongates my hair strands. It nourishes them. It boosts the moisture. It boosts the softness after I rinse it out. I just feel like this might be the #1 most clutch booster in my arsenal. I don't really know what made me decide to even start trying it in my hair care routine and in my sort of kitchen mixtress lifestyle. I think I just saw it on the Tropical Traditions website one day. I was just like, well, if the only ingredient in this is coconut, it might be good for my hair because obviously I live and die by coconut oil. And after trying it out, I have never looked back. I love this stuff. This is also very emollient. It's got a slight grit to it because it is just pure coconut, so you can kind of feel the texture of the coconut in there. It's not like oil that's been extracted. It's like full-on coconut. But love this, can't be without it, won't be without it. The second category of boosters I'm just going to call scalp stimulation boosters. I love to use shampoos or conditioners that have ingredients in them that really get the scalp kind of prickly and tingling and get the blood flowing. It just makes my scalp feel really, really refreshed. The first and my favorite for scalp stimulation boosting is just plain old peppermint oil. This is the one that I have at the moment, and I will use up to a full tablespoon of this into my deep conditioner that I'm using on my wash day. I also use this in a leave-in situation, just adding some drops, anywhere from 10 to 20, maybe even more depending on the size of whatever I'm mixing up. And again, it just makes my scalp feel really refreshed and invigorated, and I really like it. And I feel like it's boosting the clean feeling, at least, of my scalp, which segues perfectly to my next favorite scalp stimulation booster, which is tea tree oil. This is the one that I'm using at the moment. This one, same way as peppermint oil, really helps to get that sort of tingly, fresh feeling on my scalp, but tea tree oil is known to be antimicrobial. So in that sense, I really do help that it's helping to boost the cleansing properties of whatever I'm adding it to, whether I'm adding it to a spray leave-in that I'm using throughout the week and, spritzing down my scalp, helping to keep it fresh between wash days, or if I'm adding it to my deep conditioner. I'd say I probably use from 10 to 20 drops of this, usually more in the 10 to 15 range when I'm mixing up a deep conditioner, but I am never without tea tree oil in my stash. The tea tree oil actually transitions perfectly into the next category, which I'm going to call cleansing boosters. If I want to enhance the cleansing after shampooing my hair, maybe I didn't use a clarifying shampoo and I just used a moisturizing one and I want to make sure my hair and scalp are fully clean, I like to add a cleansing element to my deep conditioner. And for that, I usually reach for a clay. Clays are a great booster for helping to just boost the cleansing process of your hair, even once you've moved on to conditioning. They're said to help detoxify your hair, and they also help with sort of curl clumpage if your hair is going to clump. My hair, for the most part, doesn't clump all that much, but I do find that clays really do help to define my hair to the extent that it will be defined. It takes it as far as it's willing to go. This right here is just a jar of Rasool'clay. The brand on the label is not actually the brand in the jar. I've just been reusing the jar because I've got a 5-pound bag of Rasool'clay, which I just decant into this as I need it because this is just easier to reach for and work with. But some of you guys already know my favorite is actually French green clay. I've done an entire video on how I actually mix up my French green clay wash. But even if I don't want to do a full-on mud wash, I love using clays as a booster where I'll just add a 1/4 cup or so to a deep conditioner, stir it in, and I feel like it gives that conditioner a little bit of a boost and helping to keep my hair from retangling more throughout the wash day process because I detangle my hair before I wash and condition. It can also help with softening your hair, and as I said, it can also help with defining your hair. The less you use, the less it will have that effect. But even when I am using just say a 1/4 cup, like I said, that I chuck into a deep conditioner, I do notice a difference and it's a great booster. The next category of boosters I would just call Hydrolyzed Protein. You can get Hydrolyzed Protein from a few different places, typically online. I've not really seen a store that sells Hydrolyzed Protein, although I have heard of people buying gelatin and using that. I haven't tried that myself, so I can't vouch for it yet, but I may do later on. In the meantime, my go-to is the Green Beauty Real Protein Treatment, which is just hydrolyzed wheat protein. I've talked about this countless times on my channel, and I've also demonstrated how I use it in a handful of videos. This product is dope because 9 times out of 9, when I'm deep conditioning my hair, I want there to be at least some protein in that conditioner. However, there are plenty of conditioners on the market that don't contain any protein whatsoever, so I will boost them with this guy. She gives pretty explicit instructions on how she likes you to use her treatment on the back, but sometimes I'll tweak it and just use whatever I think is appropriate. I've been using this product long enough to kind of get a good sense of how much makes sense for me. This is probably my 3rd or 4th or 5th bottle of this stuff. I don't even really know. But this is another can't be without it item for me. My hair's porosity is normal to probably high on the lower half because my hair is old now. I've been growing it quite some time. So I don't have to worry about protein overload or anything like that because I know that the frequency with which I use protein on my hair and also the amount of protein that I'm using in those instances, I know how to keep everything balanced in terms of balancing my moisture and protein. So I have had no issues with this product whatsoever. The next category of boosters I'm just going to call acidifiers. As you may or may not know, our hair is naturally acidic on the pH scale, which goes up to 14 being the highest. Something with a pH of 7 would be considered neutral, neutral, basically water, but anything below 7 on the pH scale is considered acidic, whereas anything above it is considered alkaline. Our hair is naturally acidic, and you want to keep it acidic at least after you are finishing up your wash day. You kind of want to return your hair to an acidic state to help your cuticles to close down and maintain the integrity of the structure of your hair strands. I also noticed that when I use acidifiers on my hair, it helps me to keep my hair strands detangled. That's why I love to use, for example, in getting into the first booster, vinegar on my hair as a detangling aid. This is coconut water vinegar. I also love apple cider vinegar. You can get either from health food stores or even regular grocery stores, possibly not coconut vinegar from regular grocery stores, but certainly at health food stores. I've been using various versions of vinegar mixes to help detangle my hair. Never straight vinegar because that's actually far too acidic. You always want to dilute your vinegar with water and or other products to help get it to a safe pH range for your hair. But I find that vinegars are a great booster as a detangler, as a way to help reclose those cuticles and protect the integrity of my hair strands. And they also help to enhance shine and the overall bounciness of my hair. Which brings me to my next favorite booster for the acidifiers category, which is Aloe Vera Gel. This one's sort of an acidifier slash moisturizer hybrid booster. My spray leave-in has an aloe vera juice base. It's not water based, it's aloe vera juice base. It works great for me. And I also like aloe vera gel, which is what I use to make my mud wash with my French green clay or Rasool'clay, whatever I happen to be using at the moment. So aloe vera juice and gel, great for acidifying and moisture. And apple cider vinegar slash coconut water vinegar, great for acidifying slash helping to adjust the pH of products that might be a bit too close to being alkaline or far too alkaline. And to a certain extent, I'll actually use the aloes in the same way. For example, when I'm mixing them with clays, there's a reason. Most clays are very alkaline, so that's why I like to mix them with aloe vera gel or aloe vera juice, but my preference is gel to help kind of temper that alkaline nature of the clay and bring it back to a safer pH to use on my hair. The last category of boosters is one I'm only going to get into briefly because it deserves a video all of its own, but this category is Ayurveda. Ayurvedic ingredients are a fantastic way to boost the efficacy and just potency, what all the goodness it's doing for your hair of whatever product you're using, in my experience. I've been incorporating Ayurvedic ingredients into my hair care since 2010, and there are a number of ways you can do so. They've got Ayurvedic powders, teas, and so on and so forth. Here's one example of one I like. This is the Ayurveda Shikakai Herbal Hair Oil. I love to add this to either my mud wash or to a deep conditioner. Again, just to kind of give it a cleansing boost. And then Ayurveda, there's always kind of a more holistic, several benefits involved, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punch kind of benefits with a lot of these. So while one herb may be known for one thing, pretty much all of them do a whole bunch of good things. And that's why I love giving myself an Ayurvedic boost on every wash day, at least in some step in my routine. Whether it's my pre-poo step, my cleansing step, my deep conditioner step, the least likely one there is the cleansing step, because I definitely want whatever I'm using with Ayurvedic ingredients to be on my hair and on my scalp for more than just a moment. So at least I know if I'm pre-pooing with it, it's going to be on there a few hours overnight, typically, because I always pre-poo overnight. Or with my deep conditioner, I know it's actually going to be on there however long I'm deep conditioning, which will always be a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes. I'm also going to be recording a video on how I like to incorporate Ayurveda into my hair routine, my favorite ways to do it, my favorite products, and so forth. So I'm recording that basically immediately after this video, so don't be surprised when you see me wearing the same outfit. And if that video is up by the time you're getting around to seeing this one, it is linked right here. That wraps up my favorite hair care boosters. I'm glad you guys were into this idea. It sounded like it would be an interesting video in my head when I first thought of it and kind of threw it out there. So I was very happy to see that you guys were pretty much 100% on board with seeing this. So thanks for being patient in the interim, and thanks for watching. That is it for me today, but thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that now.